Right now, at this exact second, a rock the size of a city is hurtling toward Earth. Scientists have been tracking it for years, and here is the terrifying part. We only found it by accident. There are over 2,000 asteroids officially classified as potentially hazardous by NASA. That means their paths come dangerously close to crossing ours. 2,000. And those are only the ones we have found. Astronomers estimate there could be tens of thousands more, dark, cold, and completely invisible to our telescopes, silently drifting through the void between us and the Sun. We have been scanning the sky for decades, cataloging rocks that could end civilization, and yet we are still finding new threats every single week. In fact, in the past year alone, NASA's planetary defense systems detected several previously unknown objects that slipped past our detection net, some of them less than 24 hours before they passed Earth. 24 hours. That is not enough time to evacuate a city. That is barely enough time to call a meeting. So here's where things get genuinely mind-bending. In September 2022, humanity did something that had never been done before in the 4.5 billion year history of this planet. We deliberately crashed a spacecraft into an asteroid, and it actually worked. NASA's double asteroid redirection test, the DART mission, slammed into a small moon orbiting the asteroid Didymos at over 22,000 kilometers per hour. The result? The asteroid changed its orbit. We moved a space rock with a spaceship on purpose. Scientists measured the change and found that DART shortened Dimorphos's orbital period by 33 minutes, nearly 10 times more than even the most optimistic predictions. The sheer force of the impact, combined with the recoil from debris blasting off the surface, created a momentum transfer far beyond what anyone expected. 33 minutes. That does not sound like much, but when you're talking about redirecting an asteroid millions of kilometers away from Earth, that tiny change in timing becomes the difference between a direct hit and a clean miss by hundreds of thousands of kilometers. And here's the part that should genuinely keep you up at night. DART was a test, a proof of concept. The asteroid it hit was never going to hit Earth. We were just practicing. But what happens when the real one comes? What happens when we spot a genuine city killer, or worse, a continent killer, and we haven't practiced enough? What if we only have 5 years of warning instead of 20? What if the rock is too big to deflect? Planetary scientists call this the deflection window. The earlier you detect a threat, the smaller the nudge you need to send it off course. But wait too long, and no amount of spacecraft, bombs, or engineering genius will save you. Physics simply does not care about deadlines. Right now, NASA is building the NEO Surveyor Telescope, a space-based infrared observatory designed specifically to find the dark asteroids that ground telescopes miss. It will give us a far more complete picture of what's out there. But it won't launch until 2028, and every year before that is another year of flying partially blind. There's also the question of nuclear deflection. Yes, that conversation is real. NASA and the Department of Energy have both studied what it would take to use nuclear devices to vaporize or redirect an asteroid that is simply too massive to deflect with kinetic impact alone. It's not science fiction. It's an active area of planetary defense research being taken seriously by some of the brightest scientists on Earth. So the next time someone tells you that asteroid defense is a niche concern, a fringe topic for science fiction fans and doomsday preppers, you can tell them this. 66 million years ago, an asteroid roughly 12 kilometers wide ended the age of the dinosaurs. It vaporized the sky, triggered a global winter, and wiped out roughly 3/4 of all species on Earth. The only difference between us and the dinosaurs is that we can see it coming. We have the math, the telescopes, the spacecraft, and now the proven technology to do something about it. But only if we invest in it, only if we take it seriously, only if we don't wait until it's too late. Because here's the cold, uncomfortably honest truth that planetary scientists agree on. It's not a question of if a dangerous asteroid will threaten Earth again. It's only a question of when. And that raises a question I want you to think about and drop in the comments below. If NASA detected an asteroid on a collision course with Earth tomorrow with exactly 10 years of warning, do you think the world would work together to stop it? Or would politics, money, and distrust between nations get in the way? Leave your answer below. I read every single comment. If this video changed the way you think about the sky above you, or made you just a little more grateful that someone is watching, hit that like button. It takes 1 second, and it genuinely helps this channel reach more people who deserve to know what's happening up there. And if you want more deep dives into the science that quietly shapes the fate of civilization, subscribe. New videos drop every week. I'll see you in the next one.